If you want to keep fake people out of your life, just keep it real. I noticed that keeping it real scares people away. They either love it or they hate it. There's no in between.
The faker you are, the bigger your circle is. The realer you are, the smaller your circle is. So be okay with not having so many people around you. It's okay. Maybe you're doing something right.
Do not be friends with a nice friend. Be friends with a genuine friend. Carrie Bradshaw was a nice friend. Serena Vanderwoodson was a nice friend. They're only nice for a reason, for a purpose, in order to get something out of you. That's why they play nice, but they're not genuine. A genuine friend is someone that can be honest with you, but not brutally honest with you. They are honest but compassionate and kind. They know when to take accountability, when to take responsibility, and when to apologize. A nice friend, like a Carrie or Serena Vanderwoodson, is someone that will never take accountability. They are nice, charming, sweet, innocent. They play dumb a lot, but they are actually very, very smart because they are very, very manipulative. And they only play nice in order to get something out of you. But when they're not able to get that, you will notice how quickly their image fades. They're not the friend that will go out of their way to help you out unless it benefits them, unless it makes them look good somehow. To a nice friend, everything happens to them. Life happens to them. Unfortunate things happen to them because they're in a perpetual victim mindset. Use your discernment and be very aware of the difference of someone that is nice versus someone that is genuine and kind and compassionate.
Our number one, they're super nice to people who have power or status and not so nice to people who don't have those things. There's a quote by famous German writer Johann von Goethe who says, "You can easily judge the character of a man by how he treats those who can do nothing for him." Number two, they always talk bad about other people to you. There's a good chance they're doing the same thing to you. Number three, I learned this from author Robert Greene, and if there's someone you suspect might secretly hate you or you think they might be a snake, try approaching them from an angle like you're trying to surprise them lightly. Just be like, "Hey, what's up?" And when they turn to look at you, for a split second, they'll have a micro expression on their face that they can't control that'll tell you how they feel about you. So if they have a look of disdain or disgust and then suddenly the smile comes up, you just caught them.
Today's video is all about how to discern an authentic versus a fake person. I'm preaching to myself first, preaching to the choir, because this discernment when picking people is something that I struggled with the first half of my, well, let me not lie to you guys. It's something that I'm just mastering through Christ, and literally only Christ can help you to discern the type of people to have in your life. Because if you find yourself making those mistakes all the time, like just seeing the best in everyone, and you find yourself just, man, I misread this person. I really thought, whether it be dating or whether it be just friends, or you probably considering bringing a family member back into your life and you just cannot discern whether you should or not, this video will be for you. But before we get into that, first, hey friend, welcome to my channel, Green Elude Mental Gems. This channel is dedicated to leveling up in all areas of your life. So let us learn together, read together, but most importantly, grow together. Now, without further ado, let's get into this video. The number one way that you can discern an authentic person from a fake person is, what do y'all talk about? What I mean is, an authentic person will talk about their plans, we'll talk about whatever topics that is of interest to you guys. If you guys met through real estate, y'all talk about real estate, y'all talk about y'all kids, motherhood, etc., stuff like that. They'll talk about just positive things. They'll express their opinions also openly with you. If they're displeased with you with something, they'll tell you to your face. They'll call it out like, you did this, and like, they're very blunt. An authentic person may also, even if they're not blunt, they're gentle with it. They'll make it known that, when someone you see, you constantly offend them and they say nothing, typically 9 out of 10 times, not all times, there's always an exception to the rule, that person might be an inauthentic person if they can't tell you to your face right then and there and call it out and be like, you offended me. Because 9 out of 10 times they'll go and gossip and tell somebody else how you offended them and internalize it or hold it within and not really try to fix it. Because a fake person now will do the opposite. They gossip a lot, right? You can discern a fake person who's not authentic because they gossip a lot, whether it's about other people, people at their job. Like, you already know everything about their coworkers. You know everything about their people that overshare even about their spouse. Like, we just started being friends and you're telling me all the terrible things your husband ever did. That's crazy. You got to pay attention to that. You know all their family business because they're sharing. One day your business will be said the same way. If you can know everyone else's business from that person, then one day your business will be what everyone else knows from that person if you don't discern that you shouldn't reveal yourself to this person, okay? And also, what do they talk about? They're not talking about life goals, plans, and, shopping lists and stuff. They're talking about celebrities, nonstop gossip, things that are brainless. Usually inauthentic people are very shallow and they have no depth, right? And like I said, if you offend them, they typically won't share that you offended them. They'll keep that to themselves, internalize it, but then go share with others how you have offended them. So the other thing is, with genuine people, when it's a genuine connection, they'll go out their way to help you for you, but they also know how to say no. I find that people that don't know how to say no, the people pleasers, can be very inauthentic. You're not true to yourself. That's not what you want to do. So you're inauthentic and then you hold a lot of bitterness. And I know I did a lot of videos on people pleasing, the disease to please, etc., because I struggled with that. I was not authentic because I could not say no to people. And that's me calling myself out. Call yourself out. This is what these videos are for. It's self-elevation for self, okay? And I must say, in my people-pleasing era, I was not authentic to myself because I wouldn't want to do this. I couldn't do this. It was either harming me in some way or I was building resentment for doing it and being upset about it. But then you just can't say no or be authentic and walk away or whatever the case may be. You're not being true to yourself, and you got to be wary of those people, because what would happen is I would hold in a lot of resentment in my heart and bitterness and start to despise the person for them not reading my mind and knowing that they were being a burden to me. That's crazy. That's psychotic. And healing is knowing that if you just said no, you wouldn't even have to go that far and the person would understand, find somebody else to do it, blah, 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 blah. I've learned that the people that I was afraid of saying no to, that I thought would walk out of my life and hate me because I can't do X, Y, Z for them, they're okay. They love me even more now that I say no to things. They are okay. They will still be here. They still love you. You don't have to do that, because it creates an inauthentic relationship of bitterness and rejection, especially in marriages too. If you're the wife that just cannot say no and you're burnt out and you're on your wits end with everything, then you hold a lot of resentment, but you try to keep it so peaceful all the time. You're not expressing, you're not saying it verbally for what it is. I'm sorry the sun is coming out, but yeah, I know with the weather lately, there's been no sun. I'm welcoming this. I have to keep all my windows open. Try to focus on the message. If there's a glare, I'll try to balance out the light, but I need this sun right now. Y'all hear in my throat, I have a little, I'm under the weather just a little bit, if you can hear it. So I welcome the sun. Amen. Amen for the sun. But a person who is fake, they only tend to never say no, and they do things for you for something in return, right? Because what does people pleasing, what makes you bitter with people pleasing, is that you're expecting something in return. I go out my way to do this for people. I never say no, and they never treat me the same. That's what people pleasers always say, which is why I said being a people pleaser was not a badge of honor, and it was something, a character flaw within myself, and you got to say within yourself, because now when you do a good deed, you're expecting something in return. And this is what makes an inauthentic relationship. And when you don't get that thing in return or the same, then you hold bitterness. So you were never genuine to begin with. Now, when someone genuinely does something for you, they don't expect anything in return. They don't care for anything. They're just doing it because they want to do it. Whether you reciprocate that or not, it means nothing to them. So they're not going to hold bitterness from you. You guys get what I'm saying? So that's how you test a genuine person. Is that person always keeping tit for tat? Oh, I always do this. You never did it. Is that how they talk? Or you should, since last time I blah, 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 this time you should blah, blah, blah. It's like they're keeping tabs. I'm not saying to be used or let people walk over you. There's a fine balance. Use discernment with knowing the difference too. I'm not saying that if you're constantly always giving, at no point in life are you like, you know what? This is a leech. You have to know a leech. Okay. I'm not asking you to not have discernment with that. So don't use what I'm saying to be like, okay, then I can cheerfully give and never da. Nope, have your discernment. But at the same token, every time you give should not be to add to your bank of, oh, this person's going to do this for me in return. Cheerfully give and you will be rewarded. When you do for others, know that they probably won't be able to do this thing for me back, but that's okay. That's not why I'm doing it. And it'll remove the bitterness, and you pray about that. There were many times when I was in my people-pleasing era, I would do things for friends or family, and I'd be so upset because I never get those things back. I never did it all. But now it's like, that's so toxic. If I do something, I expect nothing back in return. You live a much more peaceful life. The Lord rewards you much more cheerfully too. And it's just is better. Trust me, I don't know how to put those into words, but trust me, it's better for you to really do things cheerfully from the bottom of your heart than to do things with a motive, right? When the person can compliment others without feeling cringe, they can offer praise or give people props, give people their tens, as the new generation like to say, right? They give them their tens. Oh, you ate and this and that, without it taken from them. They're free with their compliments and stuff like that, right? It means nothing to them. Those people tend to be very more genuine. They're generous with their compliments also. They're not like giving backhanded compliment. Oh, you actually look pretty here. Oh, you know, sometimes this is probably your best look, or, you know, like little underhanded, like, oh, you look nice today. Like, okay, what about every other day? Okay, shady. Oh, okay. I see you with the little, I see with your little outfit, with your little, I hate when Black people be like, I love my Black people. No, but y'all know how we talk. Caribbeans too. In Creole, we say ti. Oh, ti machine, meaning your little car. Oh, ti kayu, ti mono, you know. Even when you're talking to someone, you want to degrade them, you call them Timun, you know, which means a little child. But when you're talking to a grown adult, you're giving a story and you're calling them Timun. It can be very offensive, but we like to add that T because it means little in Creole. T machine, T mariage, T by, everything is a T in front of it. And I don't like that. You know, it's not a genuine compliment. And so give that. But with the inauthentic fake person, you tend that they'll give the compliments with a criticism, right? So if someone just bought a new house, you'd be like, oh my goodness, did you see such and such house? It's huge. Look at the square footage. Look at this. This is lovely. And then there it goes with the criticism. There it goes. Yeah, that house is nice, but I think my house is a little bigger, to make themselves feel better. How much did they pay for? Oh, they paid too much. They're dumb for that. That house is not worth $750,000. Okay, then it's like, okay, when you notice that they talk about other people like that, that's an inauthentic fake person, and eventually you'll be their target. Trust me. The thing that I know, the biggest sign of a genuine person is when the person is not going out of their way to win people over. They're like, I am who I am. They're not trying to be liked by everybody, be friendly. The biggest way I can spot an inauthentic person is somebody that is a people pleaser, literally trying to make everyone like them, trying to win the approval of everyone. That's one of the reasons I became best friends with my best friend is because she does not care who likes her or who doesn't. She's just herself, right? And even in my era where I really cared, I was inauthentic to myself. That's me being honest. It's like the genuine person does not care. They do not care. I'm telling you, they are themselves 24/7, whether you like it or not. Their quirks, whatever they are, they speak their mind. They're not, if you choose not to be my friend, I'm okay with it. That's an authentic person, right? But an inauthentic person, a fake person, they try way too hard. Their whole purpose is to assimilate, to make everyone like them. They don't rock the boat. They don't like to have opinions that are too shaky because they want people to see them away, to like them. And they know that if I'm too opinionated or if I go too against the grain, that may cause too much conflict. So they're pretty much uniform. That's another way you can spot an authentic person. They're too uniform and conform too much. This is why the Lord says, do not conform to this world, right? He tells you that, but be renewed and transformed by the Spirit. You cannot conform to this world because a person who conforms too much to every environment, to the world, to everyone they're around, you're not authentic to yourself. You're being fake. Okay, and Christ don't call us to be flatterers or to be conformists, to always conform to everything, but to be individuals. This is the same God who created every variety of flower, every variety of bird, every fish that you see in the ocean, every race that you see today, every tree that bears fruit, that doesn't bear fruit, the different, how many types of grass there are? Try to pick out the grass for your lawn when you're doing your lawn work or landscaping. You know how many grass there's? Hawaiian grass, American grass, thick grass, slow grass. Like, listen, there's so many different varieties of grass. And the Lord made them all. And if he is so unique with his creation, he didn't make just one type of fruit. He didn't make unless you're a twin. And even then, twins have things, identifying marks that shows you that this person is different. That why do we think that we have to be like everyone else? That is inauthentic. You're not being true to yourself. You're copying somebody else. And you can only live in your purpose when you're being your true, authentic self. And a fake person is everybody else but themselves. They adapt to everything else except for who they truly are. Another thing with fake people is that they break their promises. They don't keep their words. I always say that. They say they'll show up at this time. They don't. They said they'll do this, but they don't, right? And so it's kind of like, dang, that's really fake of you. It's part of the thing where it's part of the people pleasing, because people pleasing is what they used to do. I used to do the same thing. I keep commitments. I make commitments, but I wouldn't keep them. Like, oh, I'll be there this weekend. And then the weekend come, oh, why did I say yes? Because you wanted to be like, and you really cannot say break commitments and engagements a lot. But once I broke that spirit, the Lord removed that spirit from me. I can say no, I don't make commitments as easily. I'm very cautious with commitments. And if I do make a commitment, I go out of my way to keep that commitment. And that is a sign of an authentic person, someone that does not like their yes is their yes. They keep their word. They do not like to break their word. If they say they're going to be there, they're going to be there no matter what. If I say, hey, I'm going to be there at 5, I will be there at 5. Like, you can count on me. Those dependable people are authentic people. But a person who does not care, who's inauthentic, that's not true to themselves, make a lot of commitments because they want to always be in favor of people, even if they know they can't keep those commitments. And this is why they tend to break commitments so easily. Another sign is that with the authentic person tends to be more humble. You won't even know what they have, right? Unless they tell you. Like, how many people, I didn't know that they had all these wealth and riches and stuff. Like, you're talking to them, they appear so, average because they live within their means and all that stuff. And then you go to their house and you're like, what? This is how you live it? And you find out what they do for a living. So humble. It's not showy, whatever. And then I find the fake person wants to show everything they have. They want to, brag about everything. They're braggadocious. They're very flaunty and this and that, blah, 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 blah. And in real life, they don't have it like that. Not just that, but they're inauthentic people. Those are the fakest people because they live in a shallow world. Shallow people. If the person is shallow, materialistic, they're fake. They're inauthentic. Because an authentic person is not materialistic. They know it's who I am that makes me, right? And a person who is shallow and vain and cares about their beauty and appearance and all those things are very, that's a big red flag for you to know that this person is not a real person, right? And that they're being fake somehow, some way. You got to pay attention to that, right? That is something to pay attention to. And then, of course, I'll add that the people that respect people, big or small, children or not, power, I like authentic people. Authentic people tend to do well with kids. They tend to respect everyone, no matter what social class you at, social setting, they respect everyone. Those are authentic people, right? They're not loud, disrespectful, look down on people or whatever, or you're beneath me, I make more money than you, I'm this and that. They're not like that. Fake people, on the other hand, they give you respect based on their status, your power, who you are, what you've accomplished in life. Those fake people, pay attention to them, how you spot them. Usually when they're making connections with you, one of the first things they'll ask is, what do you do for a living? They already want to know where to categorize you. I'm telling you, man, they want to know where to place you, right? But an authentic person, you see, they'll ask you things about you that aren't necessarily attached to your status or what you do in life. Now, I'm not saying that that authentic, genuine people won't ask you what you do for a living if they're genuinely trying to know you too. That can be the case. But you can tell when an authentic person, once you tell them what you do for a living, their eyes light up, they ask a lot of questions. I'll tell you guys that I'm very weary of telling people what I do when I meet them, right? So I'll tell them a variety of things that is similar to what I do, but not quite. Like, you're not lying, but you're not revealing yourself, because that's kind of dangerous too, let's be honest. But I find that when they start to see and realize, then okay, that person changes with you and have a different respect, right? They might not see, for instance, when they see my documentary, oh my goodness, almost 500,000 subscribers. Oh, they start to act different, want to be friendly buddy with you, and inauthentic. If I could come on here with a disguise every day and share the message, I would. Now, I know that's not how the Lord wants me to do it, but if I could, I would. This is why my documentary channel, the bigger that channel grew, I think it was around 200,000 subscribers. I just started doing voiceover everything. I'm like, I'm not showing my face on that channel. Yeah, of course, some people recognize your voice. I was in DC, somebody just, oh, I know that voice from anywhere. And I was like, oh my goodness. But there's a reason, because it attracts, whenever you're in any position of power, and that's not to toot my own horn or say whatever, and it's not to complain. You know, I'm grateful for everything I do. I don't want to say that, but it's my experience with inauthenticity is that I noticed that there's certain positions you're in, because it's not the money or whatever, it's the clout. Oh, you have some access to something if they want to do it or whatever. It draws inauthentic people. There's certain fields you're in, you're going to draw a lot of inauthentic people. A lot of them. Who you're married to may draw a lot of inauthentic people. The friends you have, the area you live, the connections you have may attract a lot of inauthentic people. There's connections you have where there's people that I watch. They're very powerful. They're in my life. And I watch how people will try to befriend other people that's attached to that person, whether it be me or other people, just to get to that person. And inauthentic, they don't really want to be your friend. They just want to get to that person. So you got to know sometimes that, hey, do I have friends around me that are doing big things and people are using me? There's just like a guy wants to talk to your homegirl, but they come and befriend you so that they can get to your homegirl. Yeah, I know I'm telling the truth. It happens, right? So a lot of people use those things. So it attracts a lot of inauthentic people. And you have to be on your P's and Q's to know and to be aware and to look at how their eyes light up when they figure out, oh, just who you are, right? And I always say this, keep your stuff to yourself. People don't have to know what you do, how much you do, with none of that stuff. Keep it to yourself. Be as humble as possible. And it's a lesson the Lord is teaching all the time. Hey, keep your stuff to yourself, because it attracts a lot of drama, a lot of unnecessary admiration. That's not Christ-like. That's not godly. That has ulterior motives. If you agree with me, put a black heart in the comments. Yeah, I know I'm speaking truth, right? So this is all I have for this video. Comment below other ways that you can spot an authentic and I can't speak today, but an authentic and inauthentic person in the comments. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Leave a black heart in the comments if you watch until the end, so I know you watched until the end, and comment below what other videos you guys would like me to do. I will see you guys in the next one. Until next time.